you. Yeah. He's learning a lot already. Yeah, does it?
You have my blessing, my son.
Thank you.
Keith, do you want to sit over here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see there's a map up.
Oh, is that your briefcase?
I mean,
I don't want to know.
Are you ready to read? Read will tell us when it's ready.
You say when you're ready.
Okay.
All set? Okay, well, we should get started, I guess. We'd like to welcome everyone to our May 21st meeting. This was our second meeting of the month. The reason for the second meeting was to accommodate a couple of the outstanding developments we've had that have been tabled several times. And the board was in agreement to work with the developers to try and expedite these projects a little bit. Get them out of the town here. So with that, would you join in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Catherine, you want to call the roll, please?
Mr. Anderson?
Here.
Mr. Kashani?
Here.
Mr. Jardine?
Present.
Mr. Kosel?
Here.
Mr. Malta?
Here.
Mrs. Malton? Here. Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Okay, with that, I guess we can started. Mark, you want to?
Okay, the first tabled matter on tonight's agenda, Bellaterra Section 2, located near the southwest corner of Salt and Schlegel Roads. The applicant, Tom Thomas of 800 Phillips Road LLC, is requesting final site plan and subdivision approval associated with the construction of 60 townhomes on a 26.8 acre parcel in a medium-high residential district under sections 269-9, 296, -19 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
Mike Ritchie from Costume Engineering, representing Trainmac Development. Here tonight requesting final approval for Section 2A and 2B of the Bellaterra subdivision. We've been in front of this board a couple times in the past few months. We've worked with town staff on comments that have been generated, and most recently the comments that were submitted from the town engineer and PRC. We addressed those comments, resubmitted back to town staff. There was a subsequent comment letter that was sent out into last week. I've spoken with Mr. Chatfield, and per our discussion, I feel that those are, I guess, how would I say, kind of boilerplate, loose end comments, easements of the like that need to be filed. We acknowledge that they will be done, and we're happy to work with town staff on those, but we believe we've addressed all the big items that were present the last time around. I hope the size of the sheets are more manageable for the board members this time. One of the larger issues from last time was, I believe it was lot 222, 221. One building was too close to the creek. Actually went with smaller units and was able to shift those lots farther away. So I believe we addressed that comment. And again, everything else on the plan is consistent with the preliminary plan with the addition of a couple stormwater ponds that were added in after discussion with town staff. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions or comments the board may have. Thank you.
Paul, you've looked at this, you're okay?
Yeah.
Keith, you guys are, you're okay with this, right? I don't want to beat a dead horse, so if you get, it's all engineering detail,
Yes.
you know, at this point. So if you fellas are okay with this, I think we can move forward with this.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions, concerns? This has been in a few times, it's been tabled several times, we have dealt with it, we have modified it. We're to the stage now where I believe they've covered all the engineering comments. So if anybody has anything?
Remind me again about the homeowners association.
Well, I'm gonna put that in there, yeah, there's, what we did with that, any sale, and the applicant has agreed to that, I'll put that in the resolution. But any sale of a unit, he owns them all, he's gonna own them all, they're all rentals. He's billed to the towns, let me just go through a little bit of it. Mike, you wanna go through it, just quick, just a little bit, just.
Sure,
Sure.
Yeah, there was meetings last.
Dedicated road, was it dedicated?
Yeah.
Built to.
It's all designed as, to meet town standard, as if it were to be dedicated. We understand it will all be privately owned, but the developer has agreed to build it to the town standard, to have a letter of credit, to have the town inspections done, in order to make sure that this is built to the quality that the town requires. And you're correct, Mr. Chairman, there will not be a homeowners association to begin with. If any lot in the development at all were to be put up for sale, an offering plan on an HOA would be required to be formed and need to be submitted and approved by the state before that can proceed. So we're in agreement that can be a condition of approval. We have no issue with that. So like I said, in terms of the plan that's in front of you, it's consistent with the preliminary plan that was presented in front of this board, I think 6 years ago. The only difference being that they're going to be privately owned instead of sold.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, what else, anybody? Is that all right?
I think Derek had a question last time about not having a homeowners association being such a large development that they have to do something with the state or something.
It was all resolved.
It was our result.
Yeah. That's where we're at now, that there is no, the attorneys met and everybody was in agreement that would not be required. And as we stated, I think we did this early on, we wanted an HOA and under private ownership, he was owning them all. There was no need for an HOA, but if one gets sold, it has to form a whole HOA at that point. Okay? All right, if there are no questions, this is not a public hearing, and I don't believe anyone's here anyways. I'll make a motion for a final approval for the Bellaterra subdivision, section 3. No, there's 3, isn't it?
I got here section 2.
Is it section 2 or 2?
2A and 2B.
Oh, okay, so, okay, 2A and 2B. There's 3, okay. And A and B, 3. Sorry.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I think that the date on it is March 20th, is that correct?
Most recent version date, I believe, is March.
This map I've got is March 20th?
Yes.
Okay, I'm okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, so based on the drawings presented is March 20th, 1924. Final approval would be subject to project review committee comments, and we're going to make it subject to any parks and recreation fees determined by the town board, subject to all preliminary approval conditions, subject to all applicable governmental fees, subject to Department of Public Works approvals. Significant construction will occur within 1 year, as deemed by the planning board to expire on May 21st, 2025.
Just one more correction, you said March something 1924, I think you meant 2020.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right, thanks, Jan. I'm going back the years.
I'll second.
No, that's not done, no,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Let's see, the conditions that are, now this is gonna be important, this you need to do, is the conditions of the preliminary and final approval are depicted on the cover sheet of the final design drawings. That needs to be on, otherwise they're not gonna get signed,
Understood.
okay? Make sure that's there, there's some, just don't want to understand that. Let's see, the engineer for the proposed project shall provide a letter of certification that all proposed work was completed as per planning board resolution of final approval before a certificate of occupancy.
I'm sorry.
A letter of credit to the town for the project shall include the fee for the engineer's final certification and inspection of the site. I don't know if we really even do that, but we should be doing it. All stormwater facilities are to be constructed first. Downspouts are connected and to the storm sewer. Subject to a resolution of the final approved minutes, and approvals are subject to the drawing we just gave, dated 3/24. And along with that, I think we should put in there that its final approval is the applicants, attorneys, whoever, work with the town's engineers and an agreement regarding tax assessments on the project. And this is what we've talked about.
Agreed.
Put that in the record, okay? And subdivision, now you're here for subdivision approval too.
Correct.
If subdivision approval, I think, Michael, was done overall, wouldn't it have been when we first did this?
So the way we work with the county, we file subdivision map at every section. So
Okay.
we did do subdivision for section 1, we have to do it again.
Okay.
To break these lots out from the total holdings.
Then we'll do that separate then.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else anybody feel? Well, the applicant is to, well, I think the sale of any unit would require an HOA to be formed. Anything else? Yeah, the roads are built to the town standard. That was part of the agreement too, right? That was engineered.
That's correct,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, we got that. Very good. Anything else anybody can think of that I missed? If not, that would be a motion for final approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll call the vote.
Mr. Kashani? Mr. Giardina?
Aye.
Mr. Malta?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Coastal?
Aye.
Mrs. Mohan? Aye.
Okay, and I'll make a motion for an approval for the subdivision approval for A and B, is it?
2A and B.
2A and B of this project, so that would be, is necessary, so subdivision approval. You need a second for that.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll do with that, all right.
Thank you very
We're all
much.
set, thank you.
Thank you,
You guys
appreciate it.
finally got it done.
Yeah.
The second table matter tonight is Westwood Estates Section 3, located on the northwest corner of Schlegel and Salt Roads. Applicant Mike Amico is requesting final site plan and subdivision approval associated with the construction of 39 single-family residences, 36 fronting Alyssa Way, 3 fronting on Schlegel Road, on a 47.11 acre parcel located in an R3 single-family residential district under sections 269-10, 296-19, and 350-12 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Matt?
Good evening. Matt Tomlinson with Marathon Engineering. Just like the project before us, we're back, and we had a couple of outstanding comments the last time we were here that we've worked through with town staff and the town engineers. So we appreciate the board adding us to this agenda for it. Just as a reminder to the board, the outstanding comments that were remaining to be resolved were really around the open space access and the guardrail at the culvert crossing. I believe, based on an email we received late this afternoon from the highway superintendent, that's been resolved where no guardrail is required. We did design those clear zones in such a way that they're recoverable and meet the DOT's criteria for safe travel way for the speed and the curvature of the roadway. So I'm happy to answer any additional questions that the board may have, but I think we worked through the majority of those the last time I was here, and I just wanted to report on what we worked through with town staff to resolve those last couple remaining comments.
Well, I guess it's the same situation. You folks have been in here a few times now, been tabled a few times and reworked and so on and so forth. So with that, Paul, Keith, you guys,
Yeah, that's it.
you're all right. I know you guys did a lot of work on this. Paul, you've been going at it for a while there. Everything's good?
Yep.
All right, and everything's been engineering detail. Biggest flaw on me was the, the guardrail, which I spoke to you fellows the other day about. That got removed, so I'm glad that was, I couldn't find any in town similar to it, so I didn't think we needed to start with this one now. With that, anybody, any concerns or issues with this?
I got one question.
Go ahead.
The green area, I see access to where the pond is, and I see another access point that comes down where the creek goes, cuts about through. How are you going to maintain, who's going to maintain this?
I don't know that anyone's going to be maintaining it. I think that's a further discussion with town staff as to level of maintenance on it. But the open space is going to be dedicated to the town relative to maintenance. I'm not entirely sure if there's any plan on the town's side to maintain it, have it be forever wild, let it grow. I don't know the answer to that.
Actually, at the PRC meeting, if I'm not mistaken, Keith, you were there, I believe.
Yep.
We talked about that section there, and that was actually going to just become overgrown, whatever. It was just wide open space. It never really had any intentions of being.
Prior to cleaning out, or prior to turnover, the waterway has to be cleaned.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's a condition or comment that we've agreed
Yeah.
to, so that'll be taken care of prior to
Yep,
moving forward with the project, so.
that was, I think was the gist of it, Dave.
It's okay, I live there.
Yeah, I know.
I cut the grass right to the creek anyway, so.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you could build a little bridge and go and cut the grass in there.
Yeah, if there is ever a need, there's mechanisms for temporary water crossings, things that the town can employ to get over that if they had to, so.
Okay, and again, anyone, Jared, anybody? All right, everybody's okay with it, then let's move forward with this one also. Let's see, I guess we're gonna make a final approval for the Western Estates subdivision, and I don't know what the number, I wrote the number on the other one. What's the
Section
number?
3. Section 3.
Section 3, you got a map number for that? I got this one dated April 16th.
I think last revised were the plans we sent back in, last dated 5/15.
5/15,
Yeah,
24.
correct.
5/15?
Yep.
That addressed the latest round of
Okay, so the
comments.
map, so basing the final approval on the map 5/15/24. And let's see, let's make this thing subject to project review committee comments, subject to any parks and recreation fees deemed by the town board, subject to a preliminary approval of conditions, and subject to all applicable governmental fees, subject to the Department of Public Works approvals. Significant construction shall occur within 1 year as deemed by the planning board to expire on May 21st, 25. The conditions of the preliminary and final approval depicted on the cover sheet of the final design. I want to make sure you put that in there.
Yep.
The engineers for the project shall provide a letter of certification that all the proposed work was completed as per planning board resolution of final approval before a certificate of occupancy will be issued. A letter of credit to the town for the project shall include the fee for the engineer's final certification and inspection of the site. All stormwater facilities are to be constructed first, and I think you guys do that anyways, right? Any detention and swales and stuff is all done ahead of time.
Yeah, and part of that's been shaped already as part of the earthwork operations in section 2, so.
Okay. Downspouts connected to the storm sewer system, subject to a resolution of the final approved minutes. And the approvals are subject to the map dated 5/15/24. Anything else in there? Should be okay. All right, that would be a motion.
Second.
Second, Dave?
Mr. Shawnee?
Aye.
Mr. Malta?
Aye.
Mr. Giardino?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson? Mr. Kosel?
Aye.
Mrs. Malton? Aye.
So this, I'm gonna have to guess this is probably the same thing, am I right, Matt, as the other project, for subdivision approval?
I don't think we have a separate site plan, I think it is just subdivision approval, but we are filing subdivision to create the lots, that's correct.
So, should we make a motion to it again then? All right, then I'll make a motion for a final subdivision approval for the Westwood Estate subdivision, section 3, based on the drawings dated 5/15/24.
I'll second.
A motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? It's carried, that's it. Okay, we're all set.
Thanks, everyone.
Good luck. All right, anything else anybody wants to?
Meeting minutes, they have approved the,
Okay, we can do that.
I'd like to,
What's the date?
it's May 2nd.
I'll make a motion to approve the May 7th planning board minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll do that. All right. I guess with that, we're all set. So, I guess we're all done for the evening. That was quick. Thank you for coming in. That's it.
Yeah.
It was one of those.